In the Mario series, there's one power-up with such an insane amount of strength that everyone wants it. The Superstar. It has been around for ages, and today we're going to completely analyze it and see how it changed and evolved throughout the years. Now, the Superstars have been around since the very beginning of the series, Super Mario Bros. For the NES in 1985. It is a very rare item, only found in some levels, and when you do get it, you will turn invincible and are able to destroy enemies and go through hazards without getting hurt. However, the star's power is only temporary and it will disappear after a certain amount of time. Another interesting thing about this item is that it's the first Mario power-up to have eyes, so it essentially started this trend. Now, this power-up is only there to fill one role, giving the player a high-paced and powered feeling. The reason why they put this in the game is to both reward the player for finding it and changing the speed of the games. All of a sudden you can run through everything, and because of the time limit that you have, you want to use it as efficient as possible. So it creates some pressure and a fun factor at the same time, because you are running at full speed, taking out everything. It certainly makes the game more fun and less linear, which is always a good thing. Now, this item also returns in the next game, Super Mario Bros. 2. However, things changed here, just like a lot of stuff seen in the game. The only way to get one is to collect 5 cherries in a level. Besides that, the stars have the exact same effect as in the previous games. So getting the star was mixed in with the collectibles, some sort of combining them. However, is this any better than the question mark blocks seen in the first game? Well, yes and no. You can't specifically place them in the game anymore to create a certain effect. However, now there's an actual objective and task tied to it. So it has pros and cons in my opinion, but personally I like the surprise and finding it in Super Mario Bros. More. However, this game was completely different from the previous anyway, and not really a Mario game because it's more a reskin of Doki Doki Panic. Now, after this, Nintendo went back to the normal Mario formula and expanded upon it a ton. I'm talking about Super Mario Bros. 3, and here they're a lot more common. Just like the preceding games, they grant Mario the ability to be invincible, but in addition, Mario can run slightly faster than normal, and if Mario jumps, he will do flips in the air. These two things add to the fun factor and increasing the pacing of the game. So they're building on the concept seen in the first game instead of the second. They also appear in the goal roulette, which must be hit in order to clear a level, and if the player gets 3 stars, they receive 5 extra lives. So Nintendo also started to integrate them in other areas of the games, and this trend would continue for a very long time. The game also introduces star chains, where if Mario collects a star from a question mark block, certain others that normally contain coins will contain additional stars instead. If Mario is fast and efficient enough, he can complete large sections of the level while invulnerable. Now, this is the point where they double down on the basic and quite bare bones concept seen in the first game, creating that rush. They do this by extending these portions in the levels and making a game out of it. This way, they make it a lot more fun and interactive. It's rewarding to be fast because then you can be unbeatable for a longer portion of the level. And this gimmick is used quite a lot actually, a total of 5 levels. Now, in the next game, Super Mario World, things changed again, and the superstars became very rare. The main difference, however, is that the player gains a combo similar to a shell or a jump combo when they defeat enemies. This results in increasing point values for each enemy, eventually scoring extra lives for each enemy starting on the 8th enemy, which became a recurring trait of the power-up, including in remakes of previous games where this trait was not present. Yet again, Nintendo adding to the concept that they created at the very start. By the looks of it, they liked it quite a lot and wanted to reward the player even more. All these things combined throughout the game certainly made it into a minigame of its own. In the Super Mario Land games that also came out around that time period, not a lot changed, but the one next in line changed a whole lot. Super Mario 64 made a real difference because all of a sudden everything was 3D. In that game, the superstar wasn't seen, only the power version. and these became the new objectives of the game. The reason why they turned them into collectibles instead of being a usable item is because of the new problem they were facing. In the old 2D games, you followed a quite linear path, beating level after level, going from left to right. However, the 3D games were built around the concept of an open world 3D layout, where there were missions and tasks for the player to complete. Now, because there wasn't a set path, you could do things some sort of out of order, so there had to be a different reward. Being able to do the next mission isn't enough. And there are also a ton of other worlds where you can do missions as well. So how are you going to keep track of that? Well, a counter is the easiest way of doing this, but that would be a bit bland. Because of this, they turned it into a collectible similar to Super Mario Bros. 2, sort of. They used it in this game and almost every other 3D Mario game in the series. They even created less important versions like the Silver type, which turns into 1 Power Star if you collect 5 of them. Even the big, more important version that unlocked new portions was seen in games like Super Mario Galaxy. However, there are 2 more things in the 3D games added. Classic superstar-like power-ups, but this time with new abilities. The Rainbow Star, which is the Super Mario Galaxy equivalent of the Superstar, used to prevent confusion between the collectibles and the power-up. When collected, it transforms you into a rainbow form, causing you to become rainbow-colored and leave a trail of light behind. Besides that, it's similar to the normal Superstar, but this time on steroids. You can run faster and can both jump farther and higher. As the power-up begins to wear off, the music along with Mario's running speed will get faster and faster until it wears off completely. So they made it even more powerful and worked a lot on the looks and the feel of the power-up. It has custom music that ups the pacing and an amazing look now. Another one is also added, and this is some sort of the evolution of the wing cap, the Ratstar. This item appears only in Super Mario Galaxy, and it resembles a red Grand Star and holds the power of the red Lumas. It transforms you into your flying form, however, unlike the effects of the wing cap, the Red Star allows Mario or Luigi to fly more freely, changes the color of their clothing, doesn't give the player wings, is self-propelled, and also would grant the player a gravitational pull when he spins, pulling in nearby star bits and coins on ground or in flight. This is just the logical evolution of the wing cap, and for some reason they decided to attach a star to it. Most likely because of the theme of Super Mario Galaxy and the new Luma characters that were seen in it. Now after this, Nintendo went back to the old 2D formula, this time with a modern update. However, not a whole lot happened in the new Super Mario Bros. Games. Mostly small things like you can get them from toad houses and store them in your inventory. However, they have 2 new abilities and there's a new variation, the Big Star. The normal ones now leave behind a trail of silver coins, which are essentially bonus coins. Yet again, making this power-up even more rewarding, though it only works in certain levels. And if another player is powered by a superstar, they can share it with others by touching them, making for a more fun co-op experience. A different type of star also appears exclusively in the multiplayer mode, a Big Star. These are collectibles and the one with the most wins. Nintendo ended up using them a lot like this. It started in the 3D games and was even seen in the 2D games. The Superstar started out as an overpowered item, and the further you go down the timeline, the more it's seen as something to collect instead of a power-up. They're a powerful and shiny artifact after all, the perfect prize for completing tasks. However, its original use kind of disappeared. The original star chain concept seen in the first, third, and world game kind of got lost after the 3D games hit the scene. Personally, I kind of missed that effect, but luckily enough, the new Super Mario Bros. Series kind of made this return, however, it still misses some things. And when it comes to the spin-off games, they kept the overall use of the item as a power-up instead of a collectible. Think of Mario Kart and Paper Mario. However, not in every game, because in the Mario Party series, they were used as collectibles. Almost every Mario series got torn between these 2 options. But luckily enough, the original use was still seen a ton. Now that's it. The evolution of the Superstar and its types. They certainly changed a lot throughout the years, and were seen a lot. And who knows what will happen to them in the future. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. This voiceover was hell. My throat is feeling terrible for some reason. I have days where my throat feels fine and voiceovers go amazing, and others where it takes way too long and my voice just wants to kill itself. And currently, that's the case. Help. Please like and share this video, subscribe and watch more. I hate voiceovers.